I need to start like this. Okay, so Klara, färdiga, kör! So you guys are live?
Okay.
I cannot read his hands.
Yeah. So we got Oliver's team
So
with.
it's Gothitelle, or possibly Gothita. It's Gothitelle, Manectric, Snorlax, Tapu Fini, Landorus, and Zapdos. Okay, now that I have them on screen, I'm good.
Yeah, and Oliver's obviously running Tapu Koko, Landorus, Therian Form, Bisharp, Scizor, Ludicolo, and Politoed.
Yes. Okay, sorry. Is the webcam is frozen, we know that. Gameplay can be seen. Yeah, it should be viewable. Okay, good.
So hopefully the picture is alright and the sound is alright, and we'll try to figure out the webcam when we get the chance.
Yeah. The webcam isn't our main problem.
So Nicole, what do you think of the matchup? We see Rain from Oliver's team.
Yeah, so Rain against Goth Trap, or Snorlax Control as some call it. That's an interesting matchup to be sure. I think actually Rasmus's Rain matchup is fairly good. He has a bunch of stuff that can like spawn to potential Hydro Vortexes coming from Oliver. However, Oliver does have that Intimidate deterrent, and usually Gothitelle trap teams like these do like to cycle Intimidates with the Manectric and the Landorus, so Bisharp could definitely be a problem.
I think that the two steel types on Oliver's side is going to be a major issue for Rasmus this game, because if Oliver is able to keep up Rain up, even though Zapdos on Rasmus' side as well as Manectric might be carrying fire type moves, it's not going to be.
I think Overheat is very likely.
Yeah, but as it's not going to be a same type attack bonus, and being in the Rain, I still think that at least Bisharp is going to be able to take 1 or 2 fire type attacks in this
that's
matchup.
fair. That's fair, and that's part of the synergy between Rain and having steel types on your team.
So Rasmus starts up with Gothitelle and Tapu Fini, and Rain mode from Oliver's side. So obviously with Gothitelle's Shadow Tag ability, it means that Oliver can't switch out either of his Pokemon, although I don't think that he wants to. He's got a pretty fair type matchup right now. He's got the speed advantage and also stab grass types to try to knock out Tapu Fini on. So make sure that it doesn't get up any Coal Mine boost or anything like that.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, Tapu Fini is threatened by the Ludicolo's grass type attacks, and Gothitelle, it can take Hydro Vortex, activate its Spurry, then take a Scald from Politoed, but it sacrifices a lot of health to do so. So it's up to Rasmus to decide whether that's worth it or not, but we just see the fake out into Gothitelle, turn 1.
Probably trying to prevent Trick Room from going up, because...
That's
I actually see an Encore from Politoed, but I don't think the Tapu Fini do mind that much.
Yeah, that seems like a Specs Fini judging from the damage done to the Ludicolo, right? So I think Oliver was expecting a Calm Mind.
I do believe so as well, as he went straight for the Encore there on Tapu Fini. So, but Politoed goes for the Helping Hand, probably trying to knock out Gothitelle before it manages to get a Trick Room up. No,
it's actually into Fini, and that makes sense too, because the Fini being Specs...
Oh, super bulky Tapu Fini there.
The Fini being Specs shouldn't have too much bulk, and yet it survives that. So that's unfortunate for Oliver. Perhaps if he had Giga Drain, he could have recovered enough.
And Gothitelle manages to get the Trick Room up. Great turn there by Rasmus, managing to survive a Tapu Fini, knock out the Ludicolo, and get Trick Room up. Because even though that Politoed might be kind of slow, and might even be slower than Gothitelle, making sure that, or having the possibility to go for an Encore on Gothitelle, so I think that Rasmus should be very careful about a Politoed that's going to be... But he just goes for it. He goes for the Hill Pulse, being the slowest thing on the field, healing up Tapu Fini.
I wouldn't expect Politoed to be that slow usually. Few exceptions maybe. Alright, so now Gothitelle is anchored into Heal Pulse.
Don't think it minds that much, because even though...
Oh, it had the Mental Herb. That's interesting. That's a surprise. And that's very useful information for Oliver, because that means now he knows that if he goes Hydro Vortex plus Skull into Gothitelle, it cannot take those, as it doesn't have a Bury.
And we do also see that the Tapu Fini was indeed carrying a Choice Specs.
Yeah, fairly obvious.
Yeah, as we see that Moonblast did so much to the Ludicolo, and also getting Bisharp down to Focus Sash.
Yeah.
So we got a few items figured out already, but I don't think that, as I said before, I don't think Gothitelle minds that much being locked into heal pulse. I think it sits kind of good, just going for the heal pulses, and also as the choice specs was knocked off from Tabafini, I don't think that Tabafini wants to change moves, but it can if he wants to.
So Oliver is in a kind of rough spot. I'm not sure if he can bring this game back from this point.
And Rasmus also predicts the protect there from the Bishop. Very nice play by Rasmus.
And that is the eject button on the Politoed, which is a tech mostly used for opposing weather teams. Maybe not super useful in this particular case.
Even though he manages to get out from the shadow tag, because Gothitelle sits kind of comfortable there.
I suppose, but now you have Tapu Koko in Trick Room, which is kind of...
So I do think that as long as Rasmus is slower than the Bishop, that means he's faster in Trick Room and manages to knock Bishop out, Gothitelle isn't really threatened that much by anything on the field right now, because even though the Tapu Koko might get Electric Surge boosted Thunderbolt into Gothitelle, I think
Thunder, I would think.
It
So
might
it's a
be.
rain team.
It might be.
And then if it's boosted further by a life orb
Oh,
or choice specs.
let's see if Rasmus predicts that switching in the Manectric with...
Let's see. Oh,
Very nice play there. Rasmus predicting the electric type move, switching in the Manectric, which obviously just...
and Oliver might just have forfeited. He realizes this is a terrible spot. Or if he didn't forfeit, he might have at least considered it, because we did see the message put up on the screen.
Yeah.
That Manectric being +1 and in electric terrain.
It's a really good play there by Rasmus. And
Yeah,
also we
it
see
was
that
forfeited.
Oliver forfeits. So Rasmus goes up 1-0 in this best of 3 set. Second round in the 2018 mid-season showdown in Stockholm, Sweden.
Yes.
But it was a great game. Well played by Rasmus there.
Yeah, it was. And Rasmus does have the matchup in this case.
Yeah. But even though we do get so... I think that the most important thing for Oliver coming into game 2 now is to try to work around the Gothitelle before it manages to get a Trick Room up.
Yes, but that's easier said than done.
Because I do think that... Did we see if Gothitelle went for any protects or not last game?
We didn't. I don't think. Actually, we didn't go for Protect turn 1.
Okay. Because otherwise it might be a
No, it
valid
didn't.
play. It might be a valid play for Oliver to try to get the Bishop in from the start, to lead with Bishop.
The thing is, Gothitelle without Protect is like practically unheard of. If only because the thing Gothitelle wants to do most is just stay there on the field and little else.
It is possible, and that's something that Rasmus needs to have in mind coming into this game, because I don't think that Oliver will let Rasmus go with the same lead and just winning very comfortable the last game. So
Well, we'll see how Oliver adjusts here.
yeah. I think that, as I said, Gothitelle is going to be a huge threat if Oliver doesn't find a way to deal with it with his lead matchup. And there we see Bishop and Ludicolo, just as predicted. Because then Oliver can fake out to Tapu Fini and go for a knockoff or something to Ludicolo, maybe even go for Hydro Vortex and doubling up to the Gothitelle, because it's such a huge threat in this matchup.
Fair, though I think I would expect to see a fake out into maybe Fini and knock onto the Gothitelle, because Gothitelle literally cannot hit the Bishop, right?
No, but do you think it's enough though? Because Gothitelle might be able to get a Calm Mind up then. But
No, not Calm Mind.
no, the Trick Room up.
Trick Room.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, knockoff won't KO it, but it does good chip, and I think that's more important.
Oh, we actually see the protect from the Gothitelle.
Not very surprising.
No, but and there is the double up into, I think that's a double up into to Gothitelle. Very well played by Rasmus again.
Yeah. I think Oliver should have expected that, but I think because Rasmus didn't really protect the first game.
I don't think we saw protect in the first game now.
Yeah, so because of that, maybe Oliver was thinking he didn't have protects.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
fair play.
Quite unfortunate.
Yes, it is. So even though that Oliver still got the speed advantages now in turn 2, then It is a pretty bad position, well, I should say at least. Rasmus
Yeah.
got the first prediction at least.
This is rough. But Bishop isn't protecting this turn, which is a bit surprising. Okay, it just goes for the Feeny.
Doubling up into the Tapu Fini.
And it lives.
Manages to live the double up then.
Ouch.
And Moonblast coming out, taking out to Bishop. And maybe, do you think that we're going to see a Trick Room coming up? That is a
Yeah,
Trick
we
Room
are.
going up. So really nice play there by Rasmus again.
I don't know how Oliver gets out of this situation. I think Oliver might have just expected that to KO. Rasmus's Specs Feeny might be a bit bulkier than most Specs Feenies.
Also considering that most of the Ludicolos don't carry Protect.
Yeah.
Usually it's an Assault plus or a C move, and so Tapu Fini can pretty much just go for a Moonblast into the Ludicolo slot, being faster, and maybe going down in the process by a Skull
I
from
think-
Politoed, but
Oh, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Because the Gothitelle probably heal puzzles here,
yep,
so he will need that helping hand boost to actually pick up the KO and Feeny.
yeah, and I don't think that the Moonblast will be.
It's not enough to get the KO. We saw that last game, but it will do a lot, like 70%.
Yep,
Ouch.
Ludicolo goes for an Energy Ball into Tapu Fini perhaps. Yep, into Tapu Fini going down. But so let's see what you think Rasmus has got in the back. Do you think that Manectric is still in the back and something else that manages to take better advantage of the Trick Room chance that's left?
Well, he did go into Manectric.
It's still going to be faster than the Ludicolo, having a Swift Swim ability, making it very fast under rain and slow on the Trick Room.
And Ludicolo can't protect either, so I think this is pretty much a free kill for Rasmus here.
Because even though that Politoed can go for a Skull into Manectric slot, I don't think, even though rain is still up, I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, we actually see the Psychic from the... Oh, taking out Ludicolo, nice
Alright.
place.
That's also a good play, and now he gets valuable chip onto the Politoed, I think.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't Mega?
No. Manectric actually chooses to not go for the Mega Evolution. Probably...
Because he's in Trick Room, but like it wouldn't have mattered in this case. So
it will be a little bit slower. Maybe it's predicting the Tapu Koko in the back from Oliver, hoping to Volt Switch out now, getting it in again later in the game and suck up those Electric Trap attacks from Tapu Koko.
Okay, that's kind of fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So we'll see Landers coming in from Oliver's side, and also the last Pokemon, which is Politoed. Yeah. So well, it's kind of a funny position now, because Skull is probably going to take Manectric out this turn, especially if it doesn't go for the Mega Evolution. It gets a little bit special defense after Mega Evolving, maybe
But
be
the
able to
Gothitelle
take...
goes first and can't just heal pulse.
It can.
So I think Oliver is kind of done for here.
And also if Manectric are going to get up the Mega Evolution, is going to get the Intimidate ability, lowering the attack of mainly that Landers if it's not a special variant on Oliver's side.
And Mr. Troll, I see you there in the chat. I'll figure out how to ban you later.
But we actually see the Manectric go for a Protect there, maybe fearing that a Scold from Politude is going to take it out. We actually see Psychic there. I don't think that was the play though, because
Yeah, this is a bit of a surprise.
usually Politoed carries those pinch berries, healing him up 50% when going below 25%. So, because even though Politoed managed to stay over 25% here, and we haven't really, well, we did see the eject button, Sylveon, and we also did confirm that that Landers is a special variant, which is becoming more common these days than it was in the beginning of the season, or even seasons before that.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Partly considering Incineroar is a thing now, and that
It
means
has a
there's
very good
more,
matchup.
More Intimidates going around. Yeah, go ahead. Matchup.
No, it has a very good matchup against the top threats in this format. So even though it might be, you aren't going to be able to invest that much in a bulk as you normally do with physical Landresses, but you will get a really good matchup against the top threats in the format, which is very valuable, still keeping that intimidatability.
The extra ice coverage is invaluable. Anyway, that aside, it seems Rasmus has brought out Snorlax and gone for a Trick Room, and now he can pretty much freely set his Snorlax up.
Yeah.
Drum or Curse or whatever he's got, we'll see soon, I suppose.
As even though that Rasmus might be able to get a burn from a Scald of Politoed and go for Nerf Power, that those attacks by themselves isn't going to do that much at all. On the Snorlax, I mean. So Snorlax can pretty comfortably going for a Belly Drum. Gothitelle can very comfortably going for a Hill Pulse into the Snorlax, and Snorlax should be able to get this game considering that Trick Room was just set up and they got 4 turns to take advantage of it.
Yeah, there isn't much Oliver can do here, since the Lando can't even try to knock off the...
And we also see that
Snorlax.
Gothitelle surviving that Earth Power from Landers.
Maybe he's going for a burn, but he doesn't get it.
So did Rasmus actually reverse Trick Room there? Because I did see the animation, but considering that Landers
that
and
would make sense.
Landers and Politoed was faster than the...
Wait,
Maybe he reversed it
did.
for getting it up again. I don't know actually, but now we can confirm that Trick Room is up and Snorlax is going to be the fastest thing on the field with a +6 in attack.
he got it up now.
But I don't think it matters because, Oliver does survive there. Forfeit. Yep.
And that means Rasmus takes the game. Unfortunate for Oliver. Look at how similar those avatars are. I can't get over it. Both very pink.
Do you want to get a quick interview with Rasmus before we go on to...
We can do that. And could you fetch Heidi?
Predicted ally switch.
Well, alright. Maybe talking smack about the troll. Maybe.
What
Anyway, we have Rasmus here. Sorry that the webcam still isn't working. But yeah, quick winner interview. So Rasmus, you are normally known as our local memer.
Yes, that's...
And you've been very fond of using teams such as Chansey, but this time you brought a pretty standard team. So could you explain if there's any
my
reason
team
for it?
isn't standard. I have gimmicks, but I haven't revealed them yet.
Okay, so you have secret gimmicks. All right. And I guess you don't want to reveal them.
No.
But it definitely looks standard.
It looks standard on the shell, but I got my own special niches in them.
Okay. I guess Mental Herb got to tell us a bit non-standard, from what we saw there.
I was trying yesterday with this team, and then I was like, I saw that Mental Herb. I got taunted, and then I was like, it's better to have Mental Herb than the Berry. That was the main idea from the beginning of that team.
Okay. Yeah, I think Taunt is increasing slightly in usage, partly because this season so few people are using Mental Herb, because you can just throw a berry into everything, right?
Because they are very good.
Haha. He's also our local punner, so I apologize for that. Alright, so about the match itself, when you went into the match, how did you feel about your matchup? Because I think you had a fairly good matchup against Rain, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because I saw that Feeney was a really good win con to have, because he couldn't in Rain. I can go with Muddy Water, or I can just keep on moving because they don't do much damage with water moves against my Feeney. And then if I go with Trick Room, I'm still slower. It's not as fast as people would expect.
Yeah, Feeney isn't super fast.
So it's like I could underspeed him, and then I could just keep on attacking.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I had Snorlax in the back in both games, so it's like I could go Snorlax and...
And you also made that nice switching into the Manectric game 1.
Yeah.
And took that, what was it, Thunderbolt?
Volt Switch.
Volt Switch, yeah.
So I saw that one coming. I thought it would be Thunder or something, but I knew it was some electric type moving coming, so it was like switching my Netric. And I know you love my Netric, Nicole, or like you used it in the first tournaments here in Stockholm.
I wouldn't say I love it. I think it's very frail and I'm not too fond of it. But yeah, it's
a very niche Pokemon. It's not too common Pokemon to see around there. It was a guy in my Twitch that asked me, not yesterday, the day before, if I could make something with my Netric, and then I was like, maybe I can. And then I came up with it.
Alright, fair enough. So, anything you want to say to your fans in the chat?
You guys, you are the best.
All right.
I love you, my fans.
All right. I guess we'll end it there. Goodbye.
Goodbye.